Hello everybody and welcome back to Level 30 Games and welcome to the end of 2018. This will be my last video of the year and I'm doing a look back at the top 5 games I played over the last 12 months, as well as a few random thoughts on some other games that didn't quite make the list. Securing their spot in the top 5 is Pokemon Let's Go. You can pick your version here depending on whether or not you're Team Eevee or Pikachu, but the game is a fun romp back through the Kanto region of Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Let's Go makes some changes to the Pokemon formula, like pocket monsters appearing in the game world, ditching the archaic PC system allowing you to swap your party on the fly, and by borrowing catching mechanics from the mobile game Pokemon Go. While it certainly simplifies things, I appreciated it all the more for it, and the game feels more fresh and streamlined and accessible. As someone who has played every iteration of Pokemon from Blue on the Game Boy Color to Sun and Moon on the 3DS, but has only finished 2 of the 12 games in the series, this says something. Pokemon Let's Go is a fun return to the original 151 I grew up with, and it works well for new and returning players. Coming in at number 4 is an over-the-top shooter with an unsettling story and a bear named Cheeseburger. Far Cry 5 makes just enough changes to the formula perfected in Far Cry 3 to make this entry feel fresh, and the setting is a big part of that. Gone are the exotic locales and animals, as our story takes place in a fictional part of Montana where a militant cult has taken over the region. The setting makes the story feel grounded and eerily realistic as you fight your way through camps, free hostages, and take down the leaders one by one. I really enjoyed how quickly the game brings you to action, and the pace of play was really encouraging. I felt like one more mission or objective was always within grasp, and despite some similarity, the ability to tackle missions how I saw fit encouraged creative playstyles, meaning my tactic of unleashing my pet cougar Peaches on an unsuspecting camp while sitting in the hills with a sniper rifle was as fun as it was chaotic. The entire game is available for multiplayer too, and goofing around with friends online led to some hilariously tearful moments. A recent entry breaking into the top 3 is as much a video game as it is a tribute to video game history. Super Smash Bros. Is a game jam-packed with so much content it should put other fighting games to shame. Stocked with 74 characters and almost 100 stages, the amount of variety here is staggering. With plenty to do both in single and multiplayer, the game comes down to how to incentivize you to beat the snot out of everyone on screen. The single-player mode called Spirits is fun, although a little repetitive, but I really appreciate the thought and care that went into the matchups. You fight to unlock spirits, which you then earn to help you catch more spirits, and so on. The matches are very creative and add twists, such as gradually dropping defense stat that makes you more prone to damage the longer the match goes on, or a match where the ground is poison, and the longer you touch it, the more damage you take. It's fun and something that could be played in the background when duking it out with friends on the couch or online. It's as technical or casual as you want it to be, and with so much depth, almost anyone can find a way to play and have fun. Number 2. For a game to be in the conversation for Game of the Year at several news outlets, it's impressive. But for that game to have come out in January means it was in the conversation for a long-ass time. I'm talking about my runner-up for Game of the Year, and that is Celeste. Celeste is a journey in every sense of the word. Moving the character Madeline through the game's insane levels is one challenge, but powering through the emotional journey is another. Navigating the levels themselves becomes the puzzles you solve to progress, and while you die, and die often, you quickly respawn, allowing for the natural push to keep going, mirroring the main character's determination to get to the top of the mountain. The level design is tight and creative, and the controls are pixel perfect because they need to be. Celeste is a game that puts anxiety and depression front and center in its story and feels so rewarding to play and conquer. This is a game that once complete sticks with you in a hauntingly beautiful way. Finally, the cream of the crop. I played a lot of games this year, and this one was able to manage a fun-to-play, beautiful-looking, and rewarding experience with fantastic characters, wonderful voice acting, and an epic story. If you haven't played it, I strongly urge you to track down a copy of God of War. God of War is so much fun to play, with a moveset that makes you feel like a god while also balancing a steady difficulty curve. The fact that the game's story is so brilliantly written is a plus and manages to be heavy and heartfelt, but also lighthearted at times. The talking head of Mimir is worth playing the game for alone. He's hilarious. There is some level of managing pace of play. With enough meaningful distractions, you can drift from the main story once the game opens up and explore areas of the map you may only paddle by. The game is driven by the strength of its 2 main characters, and watching them grow as individuals as well as father and son is among, I think, the best writing in video game history. In a world where story-driven single-player game experiences are few and far between, here is a game that is exclusively that, as well as mine and many's Game of the Year winner. With the top 5 out of the way, here are some random awards given out to games I played this year and have some mixed feelings on. First is my biggest disappointment award, and that goes to Tomb Raider: Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I was really looking forward to this one. I loved the reboot a few years back and found Rise of the Tomb Raider to be a little bit of a letdown. This sadly continues the trend. I forged through, but completing it felt more like a chore than it was fun. I just wanted to get to the end so I can put it away and be done with it. Next is the Too Grindy to Complete award, and that goes to Octopath Traveler. I love this game, but in traditional JRPG fashion, it extends gameplay far too much. Seriously, lob 20 hours off the experience and it'd be perfect. It just wouldn't be a JRPG that pads its runtime with grinding. Okay, this one is easily rectifiable and may explain why it is not on my list, and that is the I Wish I Played It award given to Marvel's Spider-Man. I heard way too many great things about this, and as a fan of the comic book hero and developer Insomniac, it'll be something I check out during a slow month, if such a thing ever exists. Finally is the Takes Too Long to Do Anything in It award. This game is great, beautiful, engrossing and majestic, well written, well acted, epic score, you name it, it's top tier, but goddamn Red Dead Redemption 2, it takes far too long to get anything accomplished. This is a game I had to give up on because sitting down to play for 2 hours still meant I didn't get a lot done. This one is a slog for the level 30 gamer, and for that, I never got into it. Well, that's all for the end of 2018 and my top 5 of the year. If you like what you saw here or want to argue me in the comments, let's get it going. Let me know what your game of the year is. I'm hoping to keep going in January and beyond, so thank you for everyone who has supported my channel. I'm always open to suggestions and feedback, so if you have thoughts on what I can do to make even better content for you next year, don't hesitate to let me know. Until then, I'll see you in 2019. Happy holidays, everyone.